Christmas decorations are really coming together around here.
Yeah, it was pretty tough pulling this off since there's no Christmas decor made for the fleet carrier. Anyway, come on, let's sit down for a bit. Emma, Michael, and I were talking about the first time we met Santa Claus, even though he doesn't exist, but it was a magical encounter.
I remember that Christmas Eve at my house sit was really strange and kinda creepy.
What do you mean? Come on, tell us the story.
I was really little and it was Christmas night. I was in bed trying to fall asleep. It was almost 1 a.m. just as I was about to doze off. I heard a noise at the window downstairs. I got scared because my mom and dad were heavy sleepers, and it was hard to wake them up, even with loud noises like a door or window opening. So I went downstairs and I could barely believe what I saw. There, in my backyard, coming into my house, was Santa Claus. I couldn't believe it. I said, "Wow, Santa, I knew you'd come to bring me my present." And he replied, "Ho ho ho, yes, I came to bring your present. But first, I need the key to the safe where your dad keeps his money." So I ran to my dad's office, grabbed the key from the drawer, and brought it to Santa. Then he told me to wait in my room because he had a surprise for me after he secured the money in his white van. I waited for a bit, but a few minutes later, he was gone with all my dad's money. He wasn't Santa, he was the thief dressed up as Santa because it was Christmas. My dad woke up the next morning and called the cops.
Wow, so that's how you ruined your first Christmas. Congrats. You've got to be pretty dumb from a young age to hand over the key to your dad's safe, where he kept all his money, to some chubby guy in a red suit and a white beard. Who's next?
I think I remember my Christmas story.
Great, go for it. Let's hear it.
It was Christmas Day, and my mom and dad were busy with all the holiday preparations at home. I was playing in the yard when a man came up to me and said that if I wanted to see Santa Claus and ask for my present, I had to put my tooth under my pillow and I'd find a coin there.
But that's the Tooth Fairy's story. You're crazy.
Oh, wait, I'm not done. So, when I got the coin, I had to go to the end of the rainbow, where I'd find a chest of bitcoins. Then, I had to take it to the Easter Bunny, who was in my grandma's garden, and he would trade the chest of bitcoins for a cigarette box from the North Pole. That way, the Easter Bunny would give me a bottle of whiskey and...
A bottle of whiskey? What kind of crazy story is that?
Yeah, I've never seen an Easter Bunny trade bitcoins to buy cigarettes and then hand over a bottle of whiskey. Emma, do you have a normal story about Santa Claus? Something that doesn't involve a thief Santa or a drug-dealing Easter Bunny?
Oh yes, I do have one. I remember being with my family at Christmas dinner, and we were all talking about how cold the weather was. As the hours passed, my mom and dad put me to bed and told me that if I heard a noise downstairs, it was because Santa Claus was leaving my present. In the middle of the night, I woke up scared because I heard the sound of a window opening and a cold breeze coming in. I was scared, but I remembered what my mom had told me. So I decided to take a look and see if it was really Santa. When I looked, I saw the window open, and outside, Santa was coming toward me. I invited him in to sit down because he looked so tired. He asked me what I wanted for Christmas and told me I had been a good girl that year. I told him I really wanted a pink shoe with a ribbon, and I was so happy when he gave me my gift. He said he had to visit other children and reminded me to always be a good and kind girl to others. I watched him leave through the window, but I was so tired, so I went back to sleep in my room.
Oh, how sweet. See, this is the kind of story I wanted to hear.
I bet Santa didn't visit you because you were one of those naughty kids.
For your information, Santa did visit me, and I can tell that story here.
I want to hear this one.
I remember, after the family dinner, my dad took me to my room and told me to go to sleep and not walk around the house because Santa had a stomachache and wasn't coming to our house this year. I was so upset. I mean, why did Santa have to get sick right when it was my turn? But anyway, I knew my dad was lying because he was planning something behind my back. I overheard him talking to my mom. I kept waiting for that fat guy in red to show up, but he never came. I lay down on the couch because I was really tired, and suddenly I heard the front door open. I woke up, went to check, and I could hardly believe what I was seeing. It was Santa Claus himself. I walked up to him and asked if he brought me the brand new iPhone I asked for. He just said, "Ho ho ho." I told him not to change the subject and that I wanted my new iPhone right now or he wasn't leaving my house. He said he had my gift, but that he was really thirsty and wanted a glass of water, so he asked me to go to the kitchen and get him a glass. I ran to the kitchen, but I couldn't reach the sink to get the water, so I opened the kitchen cabinet and filled the glass with pure bleach. When I came back, I handed him the glass to drink, but unfortunately, he dropped it on the floor and started freaking out, asking for help. I ran and called my parents, told them what happened, and we called an ambulance for Santa.
And then you want to say I ruined Christmas for my family. So, what happened next?
Then I found out it was my neighbor Walter dressed up as Santa because he was old and fat, and my parents asked him to do that surprise for me that year. But that was the first and last time, because the next night we went to Walter's house, and my parents made me apologize to him. But Walter cursed me out, called me a brat, and said that next year Santa would bring me a sack of poop for Christmas. After that, my family and I went back home, and we never spoke to Walter and his family again.
Phew. At least Walter turned out okay.
Yeah, I always knew Santa didn't exist. I just really wanted my brand new iPhone.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it, but my dad had to sell it to pay Walter's hospital bill.
Oh my god, you were this evil even as a kid.
But you know what's most important about Christmas? It's not just the presents. The most important thing is being with your family on such a special night.
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas to everyone. Except for the Thargoids. They weren't good this year.